live.
Hey, I'm actually looking in the right place. And I'm about to look down in a split second to send out the announcement on my phone.
Nice. So how's it going?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah?
Everyone's got the sick.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So-
Last week, we were.
Yeah.
I was curious if we were going to be able to do this week because I figured if you caught it, then you've got another.
I have miraculously somehow avoided like all the sick,
Nice,
which is
nice.
just like I'm either going to get it like real hard or I'm just going to somehow escape it. But like
It's waiting for you.
yeah, it's waiting for me. Like trying not to like, okay, taking care of everybody else in the house, trying not to overextend yourself because being tired will just be like,
Yeah.
you got it. So yeah, that's where I was last week. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Yes. So not a work related thing, a sick related thing. Yes, of course.
No, but then of course having to take a number of days off, sometimes you're just like, well, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to finish that sentence, but whatever. So how are things over here?
All right. Yeah. It's moving along. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We've got a week off for Blade Runner. Maybe one more session for Blade Runner, and so we're gonna play some more Malagast this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, the Magna Gothica.
The one
Malagast.
that I've looked at and you said is very token heavy and kind of
And
almost,
kind of built for VTTs,
Yeah.
and it makes sense that it is because you need so many buttons and nickels and glass beads. It would be an insane.
Oh, buttons as in the things that pop off your shirt,
yeah,
and
right.
not like the things you push.
Right,
Yeah.
yes. Those things, that grandmothers used to sew back on your shirt. You just need a lot of stuff to track, and the terrain is destructible and stuff, so you'd have to make your terrain very modular. And I just and they even recommended that I just use the kind of chessboard look, so it's very visual. You can see
Is
easily.
it grid based?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Show you how far I got in reading.
Right. Yeah, and it's all orthogonal movement, so there's no diagonals or anything. But it's fun. And that the first stream that we kind of stumbled through our learning game, people watched a ton of, and people were saying, "You're going to play more of this?" Like,
Did you get spammed by porn bots?
No, we didn't. We
good,
avoided that. Maybe the timing. But there's been a lot of support for it. On Steam, there is a package for Tabletop Simulator for it, and people are doing various. Foundry somebody did some stuff for Foundry, so everybody is
jumping on the bandwagon.
doing some assets for it. So I just use I'm just using Morkborg character sheets, and the stats kind of fit in there roughly. So, but that would be cool if somebody did custom sheets.
I'm sure
for
they will.
Yeah.
I was going to say mixed feelings, but not really, because I mean, okay, it's a miniatures game, kind of, but I mean, physical miniatures and physical storage space. I mean, how many times have I talked about before where like that's a potential like hurdle for a number of people? So if everything's digital, I mean, I like that idea.
It was really cool. The designer gave you all the tokens for all the units. It was just included as PNG, PNGs without PNGs with alpha channels, so you could just drag and drop those into whatever you wanted to play them on. So that was nice because the visuals then matched, and you weren't just kind of improvising with random clip art or whatever.
Did it have the Abaddon or orbital dropkick style art on it?
Yes, very similar. Yeah, it was good, and color coded too. So each faction has
because it's the factions.
Yeah. So each what is it called, house or whatever they are, they have a color coding. So it's just a single. It's like a grayscale with some spot color of that faction's color. So visually on the board, they're really easy to identify. My units are all over here. Yours are over here because they're kind of they're real bright day glow colors.
Nice.
So so I can't wait to try it out again now that we got a little bit better grasp on the rules, and we played the absolutely wrong scenario. I just picked the first one on the list. It was a tiny board with a big pool of death in the middle, and we all had so many units that it was like we were so crowded in there. And the scenario was you just keep respawning. And that totally defeated one of the players' special ability for their characters. And so this is just going to be when the unit's dead, it's dead. And so the game should go much faster. That game could have gone on literally forever because your units just keep coming back.
Is there a win condition?
Yeah. Each one had a win condition. And this was this one was I forget the one we played is I think it's just like 6 rounds. Oh yeah, that's right. You get points for every unit you kill, and the higher level the unit, the more points you get.
Right.
And so we're just keeping score of kills of units, but they just kept coming back, so it was just endless, endless massacre. And I think it was like 6 rounds or something.
Can you shove people into the pool of death?
Yeah. The pool of death was a bad thing. But
show me a game where pool of death is a good thing.
So this will be much more straightforward, and we'll just lay out some terrain and maybe some healing spaces or something, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Just so it's not kill everybody. But this one will just be the standard brawl where your leader is your necromancer, like the most powerful unit, and so as soon as they're dead, you're done.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll just do that. So hopefully one of the players won't get knocked out like first round, and we'll just be sitting out. But we'll see. But so tune into that on the channel. We'll be doing that in place of the TTRPG. Yeah. Yes. And I don't know what we're doing after Blade Runner. We'll have to see.
We'll have to think of something.
Yes. But and how about you? Any mini?
Yeah, mini minis. Yeah. Well, not mini minis. Like I'm not working on the 2mm stuff.
Okay.
I'm working on the 6mm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I finished up one tiny Xenos Rampant detachment. I basically went 2, right? One, I kind of said, okay, I want a very compact one to kind of see what happens, and a very kind of infantry heavy one with lots of models. And now I'm agonizing over how to multi-base them, right? Because the way they come in units of like 5, and you can purchase upgrades to increase that to like 10. And like in a normal 28mm game, strength points are tracked per model, right? So here's 5 models, or here's 10 models, and you take them off. And once a unit gets to half numbers, that's when game mechanics kick in. But with multi-basing, I'm debating, okay, do I want like 2 30mm bases of 5 units, or do I want like one big 50mm of 10 models?
Right,
and I think I'm leaning towards the 10, because then that would allow me to do like a diorama base.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking like making like earthworks or kind of like little trenches or stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. Nice.
I mean, you got to track the strength points then with a die behind the unit, and you can't break them up.
Right.
But I think it'll look more interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's square bases. It's ranked.
Well, no, I'm doing round.
Oh, it's a round. Okay.
That's like an internal thing. Like fantasy goes on square because they kind of rank up. Sci-fi tends to go on round because you can kind of see all around. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but the Epic Warpath, they decided to go round bases. They're imitating, but they're imitating Epic though. They're really going after Epic 40K. They're a different scale, and they went with round bases, so they're more imitating the Legion Imperialis. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. So we'll talk about that. It's interesting. The designers give their feedback.
Cool.
All right. But let's take a look. How's the chat doing? Oh, we're all in there. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Oh, Jolene Blue is there from Twitch. Nice. We're getting onto Twitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
How many people on Twitch?
Not many. Yeah, actually, a bit. I think we've got like 40 some.
Oh, okay.
40
so not nothing.
Not nothing, but close. As close on Twitch as you can be. Oh man, yeah, it's really funny. Some people like streaming really take off on Twitch or really take off on YouTube, and then you just kind of have to lean into where the bigger audience is. But I can't. I guess if I was doing something like model painting or something every night, it would go better because you really have to dedicate the hours to Twitch. Like YouTube doesn't have those kinds of requirements. Like people can have successful channels and they upload a video every 3 months, but it's like a 4-hour video essay thing.
It's how many watches and shares and stuff.
Yeah. So but Twitch seems like I can't put in those man hours. That's a young man's game. Those like more than 4 hours streams at a time, and made, I guess, built for video games. So that makes much more sense. All right, but good to see everybody in the chat. And so should we
I'm all set.
get going for this week? Let's see what we got. Welcome to the Weekly, the only tabletop news show recorded live during Chris's lunch break.
I wondered where that
Except no imitations. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly...
Damn, I should have said the aforementioned Chris. All right, anyway.
The aforementioned. You are the aforementioned Chris. D&D 2024 revision late. So it's not the name is getting worse again.
Okay.
There, that's
the name. D&D 2024 revision.
Yes, the revision, 2024 revision, and it's not going to be released in 2024. Epic Warpath launches. So for Valentine's Day, they launched Epic Warpath, and they're only doing it for 2 weeks. I was surprised. OpenAI wins a little bit. So we all lose then, in other words. And the Purple Planet Horde by Dungeon Crawl Classics. So let's start off with the inappropriately named 2024 revision of 5th edition. So it won't be complete until 2025. So basically,
they started the revision this year.
It started it, yeah. But the you need the 3 books. You got the Player's Handbook, you got the Dungeon Master's Guide, and you got the Monster Manual. Monster Manual is not going to make it, so it's not gonna be here for the 50th anniversary. It's not going to be here for the now inappropriately named 2024 revision. So Wizards of the Coast has announced all of their release dates now. So I think it leaked. I think that at some show or somewhere somebody leaked something. So we saw these dates and people are like, that's late because it's not even in the summer. It's actually like after the summer. So they're missing a lot of stuff. So yeah, and technically last month was the 50th anniversary, like January.
It was like 26, 27, something like that.
What? Nothing. Did they even post on Twitter or anything? There was really, really small mention of anything. So yeah, so they've had the OGL debacle, holiday layoffs, recall of defective products, and now the name is even more screwed up than it was.
They were also almost bought by Tencent.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that would have been so beautiful. So yeah, originally One D&D, we heard that, and there was a logo for that, right? So yeah, they did even it was called kind of that for a while, but I guess it was called D&D Next or something when they were testing 5th edition. Yeah. So they kind of have this their weird testing name. But we are getting the Player's Handbook this year, September 17th, 2024. Dungeon Master's Guide, November 12th, 2024. And just after next Valentine's Day, the Monster Manual is coming out February 18th, 2025. So they're giving the thing they used to, or I guess the standard now, a 2-week pre-release digitally so you can get it right away. So you could be playing the revision as early as September 3rd this year, if you really want to do it digitally. And then they announced some other releases. The star of Stranger Things season 4 or whatever season that was, Vecna is coming to 5th edition. So Vecna, Eve of Ruin, and now we know they're completely out of ideas because what this? What campaign is this? This is. The entire multiverse hangs in the balance. You begin in the Forgotten Realms. You travel to Planescape, Spelljammer, Eberron, Ravenloft, Dragonlance, and Greyhawk in one campaign. So they're doing they're doing what everybody that's out of ideas does. Save all of existence by jumping through a multiverse.
Isn't it always save all of existence? I don't know.
I don't know, but this sounds
the only thing that I'm kind of interested in is, are any of those products, and a place we've visited. Are any of those? Sorry, I messed it up. Are any of those campaign settings a place we will be visiting in 5th edition for the first time? I tend to think no. For some reason, I thought that the Birthright was in that list, and it's not.
No.
So we Forgotten Realms, Planescape, Spelljammer, Eberron, Ravenloft.
I'm not sure about I'm not sure about Dragonlance. Came out with very little fanfare, kind of just crapped it out this year. Greyhawk, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if there was an official. Yeah, so it's really weird. So your race to save existence against obliteration by the notorious Lich Vecna. It's like, okay, after you play that, then what the hell else are you going to do in D&D?
I mean, come on, like, how many games about D&D have been like saving the multiverse, and then you just kind of like wash, rinse, repeat with new characters?
Yeah,
right?
save the multiverse again. Yep. Yes, in another verse, you're saving the multiverse.
Or in like 10 more years, WotC will come out with Vecna time traveled and undid everything.
Right. Yeah. Very, very MCU. Yeah. So okay, that's going to be, and they've really had a decline in sales, and maybe it's just because people are moving away from physical sales. Maybe they haven't released digital numbers, so maybe it's really great in digital. But yeah, so they're releasing that, and that's going to kind of be the grand finale of 5th edition as we knew it, from 2014.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, so they're finishing off, and then they're starting into this like digital nightmare that nobody may follow them. And one more release that's going to come out July. So these 2 releases are coming out before this was the Vecna book is May 21st. Okay. Of this year, and then in July we're getting Quests from the Infinite Staircase, which is another anthology like Candlekeep or Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel.
Which the more I read about, the more fucked up it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Anyway, so it's a 6 classic D&D adventures updated for 5th edition.
Oh, so they're not even new ones?
No.
Okay.
None of this is new. It's just retread of retread, and what can we dig at? What do we have the rights? What named character can we dust off? Yeah.
How many times is Drizzt Doward and featured?
Yeah, no, we haven't. Yeah, but so the only release, and I think I'm basically done with whatever WotC is doing after this. But I want to get my hands on this. There is a publication. There is a book this year that I do want to own. Surprise, surprise.
Okay.
The history book. Okay. So the Jon Peterson coffee table book, the making of the original Dungeons and Dragons, 1970 to 1977. And I've heard they did a little interview with one of the guys working on it. And it sounds like they're going to, recreate. It's going to be one of those big tabletop, big coffee table books. And they're going to recreate the contents of all of the original first edition, every page of the original first edition books that were in the white box and that were in, and then the subsequent releases like the Eldritch Magic and all that good stuff. So that'll be really cool to see, and as well as like reproductions. So very archival reproductions of the first, typewriter written rules that they keep saying that Gary Gygax himself, but I think it was all wives and sisters that were like using the typewriters at that time. I don't think any of them were typing things
like
out.
how often in the past has it come out that these fantastic writers were only able to write because they did fuck all in terms of like housework or anything that. Like what was it like?
Well, Gary was busy making shoes. Come on, he was repairing shoes.
We'll find out like Gail was actually the cobbler then too, right?
Yeah, right.
Like Raoul Dahl or something or like all these people like they write their schedule like all they do is write. Yeah, because your wife was taking care of them and everything else, right?
Yeah, that tends to free up your writing time when you don't do anything. You don't participate in your family in any way.
Lunch just magically appeared, right?
Yes. So this book will be the ultimate book showcasing D&D's inception, including Gary Gygax's never before seen first draft, written in 1973, a curated collection of unpublished fanzine magazine articles that contributed to D&D's origin story. So each document is introduced, described, and woven into a story, and by the game's foremost historian, Jon Peterson.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be wonderful. It should be like really amazing. And then I'm just pretty much done. Wizards of the Coast has nothing else to offer after they spilled that.
Well, you haven't seen D&D 1.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll see. But that's not all. I mean, so part of this amazing 50th anniversary, we're getting those releases and this new revision version going on. But what else are we going to see from Wizards of the Coast D&D branded? We're going to see footwear from Converse and possibly apparel, and we're going to see official Lego sets, of course, and then we're going to see Pop-Tarts, and that's it. That's it. That's all they've announced. So 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons, we get
toaster snacks,
we get
Lego sets,
we get Pop-Tarts, Chuck Taylors, and Legos. Yeah, so that's great. And sometime this year, the virtual tabletop, their 3D virtual tabletop, perhaps will go from their beta to that's it. That's all we got.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, so it's a really weird, kind of disappointing, and we knew that they were going to drop the ball on this. There was not any doubt in my mind that this was going to be a kind of pathetic. I mean, Pop-Tarts, really? Not even Taco. They can't even go for Taco Bell. I mean, the obvious co-branding things. Mountain Dew, Cheetos. It's like there's some pretty obvious stuff that 50th anniversary of D&D should take advantage of and really twist
Pop-Tarts during a D&D game.
Really?
Are you running these games during the morning?
Yeah, right after breakfast. I'm playing
during breakfast.
Yes. So that was all pretty disappointing. I was pretty surprised that that's all they've got to say. But of course, we get some commentary from the master panderer himself. So Kyle Brink, and actually let's check up. on it. We're gonna have to call this something else. I think we're barely watching him anymore. So maybe Brink in peripheral vision
Brink
or something.
glance.
Yeah, mildly paying attention to Brink. So 384 days since he pandered.
384. Oh yeah, because we passed the year mark.
Yep,
Yeah.
that he was leaving. So Brink himself says this year we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary, and the first publication of D&D will take you through the making of the game, bring you some of the classic adventures, to today's play, visit the most iconic settings in the D&D multiverse, and kick off the future of the game with a new 2024 core rulebooks that are the heart of the game. We've been building up to this for a while now. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Only because,
but not for white people. He didn't even add that.
That's a joke.
He didn't even add that. God.
Well, I have to wonder. Like, okay, I see that Pathfinder and Starfinder are coming out with second editions, or have come out with second editions, right? And prior to that, there were like the revision books, right? Which have kind of come to signal that, okay, we're tightening stuff up, we're revising stuff in preparation for a second edition. I have to wonder how well the revision books sell because they have come to signal we're starting a new edition, right?
Right.
And I wonder if the same thing's going to happen with these 2024 revisions.
No, that's true. And I think that's why they're seeing a decline in sales, because people are just kind of like holding off and saying, what's exactly happening? They're branding this so poorly, that people are just like, do I want to buy new books? Are these going to work with whatever they're doing next? And
well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. But I mean, I think I heard something about like the D&D like essentials, right? Kind of the tail end of 4th edition,
right?
Were decent versions of the game since they clean stuff up and kind of explain stuff. Maybe the 2024 revisions will be the same.
Yeah.
But for 4th edition, it was kind of like too little, too late, right?
Yeah,
like a lot of people already jumped ship or they weren't selling very well. So I don't know if the same thing is going to happen with the D&D 2024 revisions.
Right. Yeah, and they've been publicly kind of play testing the stuff and jiggering with the classes and stuff. And so I don't know. I think this was a really weird move because they so much like crowdsourced what is in 5th edition, and then they crowdsourced the revision. After 4th, they crowdsourced this weird revision version. I don't know. It's weird. It's going to be something that just is so anodyne and so like, okay, I guess this is a game we want to play.
We talked about this enough, and I want to go on to something else
before
I got to like bounce back to work, catch that meeting. But I mean, like after 4th edition, they WotC kind of had to crowdsource 5th edition. Like, tell us what you want. And since D&D is still trying to be every game for everybody, they will have to crowdsource. They have to make it as appealing as possible to the widest base possible. Therefore, D&D can't really be anything. Right?
Yes.
And I'm not trying to like slam it.
No,
God knows, like D&D fans are sensitive as hell. But I mean, that's where setting books could fill that hole, right? Like the core books, generic, right? I think that's why people liked settings, right? Because they were different, right? Like Dark Sun, Forgotten Realms, Eberron, Spelljammer, right? Kind of
some flavor,
right?
And some,
like flavor, nope, that is not here, right? Or these things are here that are nowhere else, and that's interesting, right? They're kind of notable. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see. So far, this has been a real disappointing. Just want that history book and then off with you. Do whatever you're going to do behind that subscription service, and we'll be off. But one more final note with Dungeons and Dragons. I just want to inform everyone the theater kids have won officially.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm interested in this now.
Yes, because Dungeons and Dragons, you can play the 20-sided tavern off Broadway. So there is an official off-Broadway musical that is licensing Dungeons and Dragons.
I take it back. I'm no longer interested.
So, first officially licensed theatrical adaptation of Dungeons and Dragons. It will open off Broadway on Stage 42, formerly known as the Little Schubert. Performances of the 20-sided tavern will begin April 19th, ahead of the official opening on May 5th. And it's got a cast of 5 actors, so over 30 playable characters. The audiences will experience an expansive fantasy world set in the Forgotten Realms and face riddles, puzzles, combat, and more to help shape the story. Laughter will flow like ale. With the audience in full control of the exciting reveals around every corner, no two shows will be alike. Yes, and actually they are still auditioning, so if you're free,
I regretfully inform you that I am not free, not even as an audience member. Sorry.
Yes, so the audience will be invited.
Who knows? Maybe it's fantastic, but I mean, like that does not.
Yeah.
That does not appeal to me.
Yeah. So the audience will be invited to influence key plot decisions. It's wonderful. Yeah, that's. I can't believe that. Yeah, that was just like.
It sounds like. I'm sorry. It sounds like methadone for playing an actual RPG, right?
Right.
You want to influence decisions? What happens at the table? Go play a goddamn RPG, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's amazing. So yeah, off Broadway, D&D. Moving on. Let's leave that ugliness behind us. So yeah, so something fun and happy and a little bit interesting how they're describing things. Epic Warpath. So Mantic is releasing their version. So we have got the Legion Imperialis kind of just puked out from Games Workshop.
How you really feel.
And they're already back to their Titans. They're already they already have a Titan, an 8mm Titan game. And then Legion Imperialis is already
8mm scale, no
scale.
Titan.
Yeah, right. 8mm scale, yeah, right, the human scale, yeah. And so they're already coming back to that, and they're releasing a book where you can play Titans now. It's we could play exactly the same models, and okay. Yeah.
Of course, I mean, think about it. The bigger the kit, the more they can charge for it, the more they want.
Yeah, so they're just coming back to the same thing. So I think they're not doing great with that. And especially because it's competing with plastic Horus Heresy, because it is Horus Heresy, and then it's competing with the.
Well, 28. I mean, a charitable whatever would be people already have Titans from Legion.
Right.
It's not Legion Titanicus, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So to encourage those people to play this other game or now you use Titans. Okay,
maybe
that's the charitable.
But then they're not buying models, and the rules are only written to buy.
Well, then maybe when your opponent shows up with a whole bunch of
that's
Titan
right,
Legion, and you get tabled, turn one, you go, maybe I should get some myself, right?
Yes, that's right. So the designers of this new game for Mantic and kind of this we talked about a year ago. They basically said, we have this idea, we've got these beta rules. Here's the beta rules. Take a look at them. How do you want us to produce this game? And do we want to do this all 3D digital printing, free rules, and just we won't really support it, we'll just give it, we'll just hand it out as a gift? Or do you want us to crowdfund this and actually do plastic kits and everything? And I guess the overall consensus was plastic kits. We want a real game that you're going to support, that you'll keep expanding in the, kind of Warpath universe. So Matt Gilbert and Alessio Cavatore, an ex-Games Workshop designer, worked on Epic Warpath. So basically they were influenced, of course, it feels familiar because they used a lot of the sensibility from the original Epic game. But they chose a different scale, and then they were also maybe looking at how Games Workshop evolved their Legions game. So the things that are going to feel familiar are each round players secretly assign orders to their units, and then you alternately resolve the units throughout the phase. And then how you flavor the different factions are they'll have different abilities that will give them an extra activation or allow them to do things. So it's actually going to be the commanders that really give you the flavor and really change how the battlefield works. So it sounds good. The interesting thing, and they mentioned this pretty early, but it didn't kind of stick in my head. They're going with a 12mm
which seems
scale. Yeah. So they're saying it's kind of between 10 and 12 roughly. And what Games Workshop is doing with Legions is 8.
Which is already not 6.
Yeah, which is already not 6. But they did say that this is basically just they're scaling down by to 30% because they're saying essentially their Warpath models are scaled about 36mm. They're not actually 28. So they're a little bit they're a little bit chunkier. And so they that's what they're doing. They're going with round bases. So kind of like you were saying, sci-fi. People are really feeling sci-fi is round, and the rank and flank fantasy is square. So not going with square bases, and I think because of the larger scale, and I think it's probably a good move for Mantic because their plastic kits especially, they're getting better, but the detail and stuff is a little, has been in the past a little squishy. So it's probably a bigger scale will benefit them. Yeah. So unlike the Legion Imperialis, which is just Heresy era Space Marines, they're going to have all of their, or I guess they're going to start with
Four.
There are 4 basic factions. They're Asterion. They're not Eldar.
Yep.
They're not Space Marines. The Enforcer kind of space cops. The not Squats. They're Forge Father dwarves.
Yep.
and they're not Nurgle plague monsters. So that's originally what's released. They were teasing, depending on how the campaign does, they're space rats, so they're Skaven-like vermin. Yeah, and they're orc-like marauders.
Is that what they're actually called?
Yeah, marauders. Orc-like. Orc-likes.
Orc-likes. I like that.
That will could be unlocked depending on how the campaign does. But I was surprised they're only doing a 15-day window, which is pretty short. I mean, that's to get the word out, and I guess
Well, I mean, like you said, about a year ago, right?
So everyone they
put out the rules and we're talking about this, so it's not as if it suddenly popped up in only 2 weeks, right? So
so people have been anticipating this, but it is basically just going to be Mantic fans. I don't think they're going to drag people away from Legions or anything there's not going to be enough momentum or enough buzz. But some nice quotes from the designers. So they said it's given us an opportunity to add some different things in that might find their way back into their 28 millimeter scale game.
So 36.
Or 36 actually. So they're so that was interesting, the whole kind of design process, because Cavatori was brought in. Is it Cavatori? Was brought in later in the game. So Matt had already started the rules. Matt Gilbert started the rules, and then he came in and edited stuff. So he, was basically, do we need this rule? Do we need this rule? Kill.
Sometimes that's what you need. Because I haven't read this. I'm not saying it's like one of those like labor of love project, but I can definitely agree that sometimes you are too close to a project and you think, oh, this was great. And you need an outside perspective to go, no. Kill those sacred cows and don't end up with like a bloated mess like D&D.
Yes, yeah.
Shouldn't have referenced that again. Should have sorry.
Right. So Alessio Cavatori is known for his work on Mordheim, a lot of the faction books for Warhammer Fantasy, and was the lead design on Lord of the Rings strategy battles. So and also the author, when he was working for Mantic, author of Kings of War. Okay. So everyone, So I think the Lord of the Rings game and Kings of War have a really good reputation as a good, solid rule set. So it's good to have him working on this. And I'm happy to see that they actually went all the way with this and said, we're going to support this. And, it's going to have a printed rule book and, everything's, and it's a D10 system. Okay. So, and there's pinning and things. So it'll go, or is it? I'm sorry. I've watched too many tutorials recently, but
they all blend together, don't
they? Yes,
they?
Really. I have been watching too much skirmish games, but it looks like an interesting rule set, and we'll see how.
Are the rules still available for free?
That original beta, I think, is still floating around, but I think they've polished it since then. I think that was only Matt Gilbert's original version.
So there's absolutely probably no guarantee or anything that the rules are.
Yes.
Identical.
Right.
You can maybe get a sense of what they're going to play like.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of interesting stuff, and they're also doing digital as well. So not for the main core boxes, but all of the heavies and kind of extra units. They're offering you, would you like this in resin or an STL? Yep. So that's an interesting move that nobody else is really doing. They're saying they're not going to be doing the core units because they committed to
the plastic tool
doing the molds. They're not going to just give those away. We'll see how this does. It's already it's getting, I think 250,000 is their unlock the next faction. So we'll see if they get there, and they're going to do reveals. They did terrain specifically for this game and everything. So they'll do reveals of that as the and there's kind of every couple of days there'll be reveals. Of the heavy units. They'll reveal what they've been doing. So I'm really looking forward to this. And this if you do everything, if you get absolutely everything they're producing for this game, it's still less than that starter box for
Come on,
Legions.
man. You can't you can't compare anything to Games Workshop prices, right? Like Games Workshop prices are their own category, right? You're talking like mortgage level commitment for GW stuff. Right?
Yeah, I mean, but that is amazing. I mean, especially the release that they did in Japan, it was like, if you want to get involved in this, it's $500. And that's exactly what you'd have to pay to get everything that they're producing. All 5 armies possibly, with the additional unlocks and all the terrain, everything. So that's crazy. So we'll see how this does. I'm really interested in if they're going to be supporting this, moving forward, and how that is going to affect the rules, how it'll kind of go back and forth with their firefight, and how the rules will be affected. So so I'll put a link to that in the description. Nice. So take a look at that. You've only got a few days, so you got maybe another week or so. And moving on to Humanity's War Against the Machines, Sarah Silverman's lawsuit against OpenAI.
Can I just say Butlerian Jihad 2024?
You're right. Yes, basically. So pretty much completely dismissed except for one of their allegations. Yes. So they could not prove any of these authors involved in this could not prove that ChatGPT violated their copyright. So California court partially dismissed. They called it partially, but it's like everything except one. Dismissed the copyright case against OpenAI. So Sarah Silverman, Christopher Golden, Richard Kadri, Paul Tremblay, and Mona Awad, but actually Awad dropped out of the lawsuit already last August, so not interested. But the 6 charges were direct copyright infringement, vicarious infringement, violation of the Digital Millennium Rights Act, and unfair competition, negligence, and unjust enrichment. So the only thing that stuck was the direct infringement claim. Everything else was dismissed because they couldn't prove it in any way. So so this is another step backward, but we still have, there are still several other copyright lawsuits. Right. The one with John Grisham and George R.R. Martin is still moving forward, and the New York Times is still suing.
Okay, I feel kind of bad for saying this. Like, if an AI was fed George R.R. Martin stuff, that would just delay any kind of production right. It would spit out, wouldn't it? It'd be like,
yeah, that's true. Well, people are going to posthumously probably ask AI to produce the
I'm sure they will.
remaining books for Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah, so we'll keep you updated on that, but it's not looking good. We're not doing well in the courts against the machines. They got this. Oh, and plus there's Microsoft money, backing this up. So good luck. And the last thing I'd like to mention is this is on BackerKit, so it's not a Kickstarter, but the Purple Planet Horde. So they're bringing back the Purple Planet setting for Dungeon Crawl Classics. But they're doing it as this kind of huge. There are 7 companies altogether that are producing adventures and things. So, of course, Dungeon Crawl Classics. Right. And they're taking the original box set and producing a hardcover volume that includes everything plus anything that was added later. So, basically, you're completely... so, Harley Stroh's Sword and Planet Fantasy Epic all in one book.
Cool.
So, a hardcover book. None of the kind of various little, flimsy... adventures and all the kind of random stuff that they produced. So everything all together. So you're if you're a fan of that, it's been out of print for a while. And basically, I think you could maybe get digital versions of things, but it hasn't been around. So the sprawling hex crawl, where characters have the opportunity to assume mastery of their own warbands, pitch faction against faction, and plumb the ancient burial mounds, respect the age-old taboos, and experiment with deadly artifacts. The remnants of the last war.
Sorry, we're talking about Numenera here? No,
yeah,
sorry.
right.
Sorry, no.
Right. So, yes. So the Purple Planet, 8 publishers altogether, including Dungeon Crawl Classics. So Gaming Honors, Horse Shark, Studio 9, Ed Stanek, TSG High Dive Games, Roll Funky Dice, and Purple Sorcerer Games are all producing adventures or something involved in this campaign. Right. And the more that you support... the kind of cheaper, the more off of MSRP you're getting, and if you support a certain number, you get some free 3D6 set exclusive.
Okay. But not the Funky Dice.
Not the Funky Dice. But they do have new versions of the Funky Dice.
Now with more sides, right?
Yes, right. So new colors: Greenstone Shard, Rusted Death Hulk, and Weirdling Sun-Bleached Bone, and Bloody Kith Horde colored dice. Yeah,
not a fan of the wacky trademark color names.
Yeah, right. Yes. Well, DCC is all about that.
It is, and I suppose I don't really care about it in dice. I care more about it in paint because I want to know what fucking color I am using instead of Ion Pulse. I'm just like, what the fuck color is that, man? Sorry.
Yes. So they're also releasing during this campaign some Tome of Adventures, which are just collecting some previously published, in the paperback versions. So some hardcover versions, new compilations of their adventures, and of course a new limited edition version of the core rules with the Errol Otis new illustration, and a new demon skull that faux leather. I guess it's faux demon leather or devil leather. Skull, but this time it's embossed with gold foil that is rainbow reflective, in case the one you got before that was just gold was not enough. Yes. And then a judge's screen, a player's guide, a Purple Planet flexi disc, which is actually a record, like they used to include in magazines. So they're going very old school. And the 7th Doom Quest, which is a visual atlas of the Purple Planet.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are interested in that or had that and want it all collected in a big-ass hardcover...
Or if you already have it and just have money to throw.
Yeah, right. Yes, you do. Like another book on
I've
your
got already
shelf.
the foil stamped. I need the foil reflective rainbow stamp. Right?
Yeah, so during this campaign on BackerKit, they're going to support it with many live streams. So there's a whole schedule of live streams available on the page. I'll put a link to the BackerKit page, and if you want to, it's a fun setting. A little bit Dark Sun, a little bit like John Carter. It has a little but still the more Gonzo DCC flavor.
Well, I mean, as someone who's been chewing through Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff and is up to like the second book in the Venus series. That's already Gonzo. I mean, just like. Also, I think I found a series.
Proto Gonzo.
I think I found a series that's worse than Barsoom. Right?
Yeah.
Oof, the Amptor Venus season series.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Anyway, were those written before or after?
After.
Oh, interesting.
And hey, Edgar Rice Burroughs found out he was a eugenicist, outright stated eugenicist.
Oh.
Which now looking at his stuff, you're just like, yeah, I kind of see it.
Yeah.
Barsoom was like, yeah, it's kind of implied. Venus is just like, whoa, this is now text. Jesus Christ, dude. Anyway.
Well, who in 1910 wasn't a eugenicist?
It was like 1930, right?
Oh, that's right. There's Pose. That's right. There's Pose.
But back to the Purple Planet.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's interested in systems, I am mildly curious in seeing how the Dungeon Crawl Classic rules have been modified to play Sword and Planet. And I'm not saying they have to be. This might just be like, the rules are exactly the same, just here's this setting.
Right.
Sometimes that's enough, but I wonder if the rules have been changed and how to support a different setting.
Yeah. I wonder if because there are factions like they're talking about. There's a little bit more going on than just combat, than just dungeon exploration and combat.
Not if the factions all they do is fight each other.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, but
there's bigger scale fighting rules, right?
But yeah, it's more. There's hex crawl rules and everything. So yeah, that's true. Exploration style.
You really need hex crawl rules? I mean, like the rules are like, how far can you move in a day?
Yes, and there's predatory creatures, deadly mushrooms, and jungles. Thousands of fictitious savage man beasts are locked in an endless war. So there you go.
Yeah. Stuff you would come to expect. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So so check that out, and it's a pretty good deal because Goodman Games really never comes down on the price. They have occasional sales, but their stuff, the price pretty much stays. So the crowdfunding is probably the best chance to get a little bit of a break. Yeah, and then get it all shipped together. So hopefully a little bit of a break on that as well. But that's going to do it for this week. Cool. So where can people find you?
On Blue Sky and Twitter, and when I remember, Threads.
Oh, nice.
Although with no political content there, I'm thinking about. Anyway.
Oh, really?
They're starting.
Is that election based? Is that temporary, or is that just permanent?
Wow. We're gonna start suppressing political stuff, right? We're just like, okay, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where it's mostly stuff about tiny Xenos rampant as I paint things. First time I've painted stuff still left on the sprue, because otherwise you're just not going to be, there's no place to hold these tiny little people, right? And first time I'm really doing batch painting, where I just have like a line of like the 40 guys, just like the one color at a time. Nice. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you know where to go. And how about you?
Excellent. So I'm still trying to do, the schedule didn't work out again this week, but abuse cartoons. So I draw my single panel gag cartoon, Domestic Abuse. And that's Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. And you can read the cartoon at GoComics. So gocomics.com/domesticabuse. And if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
At patreon.com/upturntable. And let us know what you'd like to see more of on the weekly cast. Less 5e bagging and more.
Worst case scenario, it's more 5e.
It's probably going to be more 5e, but anyhow, yes. But just let us know, and also just drop us links for interesting articles and things that you would like to discuss. And so upturntable.com is the website, and we do live streams for also our actual plays, and we'll be doing more Malagast, so Magna Gothica Malagast this weekend. So the kind of demonic skirmish game that we're running that in Foundry.
Cool.
But you can run it on basically anything as long as you can make
physical.
Yeah, as long as you make a lot of tokens. Yeah, just don't try to run it in real life. But so we'll be doing a little bit of that, and then getting back to Blade Runner the week after.
Nice.
But that's all for this week. Cool. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. All right. How is everybody doing? Hey, Yum. Yum's in the chat. Yeah, sorry, the schedule did not work for Cartoon Stream this week, so sorry about that. And Matt, good to see you. All right. Yes, old dudes, old dudes hobby stream. Very cool. And who you calling old? Yeah, that's right. We have to be sensitive. Nice. Yeah, that's the only thing. Figuring a good timing. I guess our like night for you and like early afternoon for me works okay if we're gonna connect it. Yeah, right, Matt. Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking is like, why'd they go with Pop-Tarts? Like, there's such like, classic, roll game snacks that they could have done much better with. Maybe just people weren't interested. Like these food giants that own all these snack foods are like, what's D&D? Who cares? So said the Pop-Tart guy died. That's probably why they only appreciate you after your toast. Nice. Yeah, I've heard too. I've really, wanted to try a Pop-Tart after all of these years, but from what everyone is saying, they're getting worse and worse. I guess just like all the processed food in America, they are just removing anything that actually is food, and leaving the preservatives and coloring behind. On the Brink 2024. Brink and You Miss It is good too. It was good to see him officially, doing a statement about how exciting this year is going to be as the executive producer of D&D. So boring. Nice. Oh, hey, Felix. How's it going? Nice. not Bazinga. What does it say? It says something about fear. A being of fear, I think, is it just got skulls and eyeballs all over it. Real brutal skater wear. The show is off Broadway, so it's probably in Jersey. Nice. That was so funny to see a officially licensed D&D theatrical production. It sounds just like a weird a weird improv thing, a weird fantasy themed improv thing. Yeah, but they mentioned something like fantasy epic beer pong and stuff, so it sounds like it's just goofy jazz hands with advantage. Yes, nice, Orcus. Yeah, good to see you, Orcus. Yeah, I like Matt's idea. We'll talk more about that. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, bad game groups. I was just listening to something and realized like how people do. I think a lot of people have a really weird, limited idea of what fantasy role play is, and they're all kind of pursuing the same sort of thing. And I forget what it was that made me realize that, but it was really kind of depressing. Like how, maybe it's just the like we talked about before, the people coming from computer role play, computer RPGs and stuff. If that's our first exposure, but this real weird min-maxy thing, it's like, oh, I don't get a +1 in this, and like arguing about all this nonsense with their character, like doing these I don't know, so not even like too much backstory or anything, but just basically so deep in the mechanics of of the game that they're not like even role playing anymore. It's just it's very weird. It's just like trying to build the perfect. They're just like building an algorithm with their character, and that's all that I will implement my algorithm now. It was really depressing, where I just realized that the approach is kind of weird. Yeah, what was it? Because there was been a couple of channels that were recommended to me where people were, talking. They're giving DM advice, but they're basing it on the advice from the masters of dungeon mastering, and which is basically like exactly who you would expect, all the WotC DMs and Critical Role and everything. So they're referring to all of them as these masters of this art, and all of their advice, and a lot of their advice was really odd and like skewed towards not very uninteresting things going on at the table. Mushroom jungles and man beasts. Yes, the purple planet. The man beast. Man beast does give you $20 for passing go, but it goes into the community chest, right? Nice. Oh, Matt's saying the Tales of the Valiant GM guide on Kickstarter not really doing all that hot. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, I saw that mentioned. Under 500K on the last day. I don't think they're really landed. Yeah, with the broader community. That's interesting. Yeah, I think with all that, I don't know. And I've not really even used or read any Kobold Press stuff. It was just good to see them like aggressively moving forward after the OGL thing with their own. I just think the naming wasn't great. It's kind of like too generic, and there's so much competition now with everybody going their own way. And I think like the MCDM stuff has got a bigger following, and so it's gonna be hard for them because they're third party. They were third party supporting 5e, so if they don't have a place in that kind of ecosystem anymore, I don't know. We'll see. That will be interesting too. Like if Kobold Press isn't really successful with their Tales of the Valiant, their what Black Flag project, if they're gonna kind of step back from that, supporting that, and then try to like go back to supporting what WotC is doing, it'll be interesting to see how many people kind of come crawling back if WotC does establish this walled garden ecosystem where people can make money releasing like digital support for third-party digital support. People come crawling like, we're so sorry that we were saying terrible things to you about the OGL. Oh no, Orcus does have a ever-growing awareness of his own mortality. Brinkside story. Nice. I can't. I will be. It would be very funny if we do hear about a Brink resignation. He does seem like one of the obvious things to downsize if they're going to serve their shareholders. I think eliminating his salary would be a good first step. Or I guess 80th step or whatever. They've eliminated so many other people. That was the. Oh no, that was an Embracer quote. Yeah, Embracer eliminated like almost 2,000 employees in their like mass of things that they bought, but they were saying they called it basically satisfying their shareholders. So they didn't even say employee termination or downsizing or restructuring or anything. They basically said just we're satisfying our shareholders. Wow, that's interesting. The shareholder master race. Yum has no idea how old I am. That's good, and you'll never know. Yeah, that's if I'm going to be involved in this old guy tabletop discussion, that'll put me in a certain age range. Nice. But good to see you, Yum. It's been a while. I've been kind of just randomly doing the cartoon stuff, and also sorry, the no new video, the music video we did last week, it got struck by the content ID, so I'm talking to Jackson about getting that lifted so we can play that. So we'll get the new song back up, but I want to get the content ID thing sorted first. But yeah, good. Yeah, so we'll have to use all the filters and de-aging that we can if we're gonna do this thing. Yeah, I wonder what would work the best for doing kind of a group discussion if we all want to be on camera. I don't know, maybe Discord would be a good way to record, or if anybody's got a paid account for Zoom, or what's the other one, the Google Meets or whatever. But there's got to be something good to do multi-camera stuff. So I wonder what the best approach, and hopefully we can find a good time or good timing. And I wonder if it should be a live stream, or if we should do a multi-camera and just record it, and then we can kind of cut it up. That might work as well, because we could also then do multiple episodes in one stream, like switch topics and make that a separate episode. So that might be a good way to chop that up. But yeah, I think record might be good, because live stream, there's all kinds of paying attention to chat and stuff that live stream becomes a little more distracting, and without pandering for super chats and stuff, there's no point. That's not a bad idea. Edit and put it out. I wonder if because that would be really cool if we could do, like we're doing with our actual plays, record the audio separately so we could edit those tracks in Audacity and kind of sweeten everything so everything's nice and balanced, but then also have the video, because we could record the video stream. I wonder if we would lose sync doing it that way. I think it should be all fine, but that would be really cool. Oh, cool. Zoom might work well. I think, Zoom or Discord, but I like Discord because you can do the Craig separate recording. You can get basically an Audacity project that has everybody that was talking on the Discord call with their own audio, so everything can get more balanced, because when it's all kind of mushed together, the video's not as important to be able to manipulate, but the audio, it helps if we can make it clear. Yes, please, Jan, please get in there and derail us the whole time. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, that works well. And Premiere and stuff too has its. It takes a little bit, but it'll let you auto sync. You can just drop audio tracks in, and then just say sync all this. And if you have the combined track, it'll sync all the individual tracks to that. So that works well too. Yeah, but the clap is a very solid way to keep sync. Nice. Yeah. So we should make a little chat group and kind of discuss what would work and how everybody's schedule is, because I'm sure everyone's got different commitments and stuff. And then where do we put the final product? Give it its own channel? What should we do? All right. Well, cool. So, there wasn't... that's right. I did miss... I saw that the Tales of the Valiant going on and didn't include that. I thought the Purple Planet stuff was more fun. But yeah, it's interesting that most of the stuff that Dungeon Crawl Classics is doing is just, in this campaign, it's just reprinting hardcover collections of everything. So I think they're doing like the new judges screen and the new covers on their books, but it is just re-releasing stuff that's already been done, and there's probably work to get it all, kind of combined together in a book that seemed like it was intentionally written, not as just an archive. But yeah, it's a lot of reproducing. They didn't say. I guess the third party guys are doing new original stuff, but all the stuff that Goodman Games is doing is just reprint. The one funny thing that they did too is Invasion of the Purple Planet is going to be included, and that was only produced in German when it was originally released. So the first time ever in English. I thought that was funny. But and some of the titles, really do feel like very John Carter, Chessmen of the Purple Planet, and that kind of stuff is. No, that's the new one. There is a new adventure. Yeah, Harley Stroh is contributing. So Chessmen of the Purple Planet is an all new adventure for that. So it's cool. To get everything collected all in one place, because it probably was quite a chore if you wanted to get everything Purple Planet related. Oh, of course, the new dice colors too. That makes it work. But yeah, interesting. And it's interesting they did backer kit as well. Get a bigger piece. I didn't check the shipping too. I think Goodman Games will ship internationally, but they hit you with the nastiest fees. I ended up switching to a US address, I think, for everything Goodman Games. But I know Steve Jackson and some of the other smaller publishers are just like, we U.S. only. I don't even think, and I think U.S. only. I don't even know if they do Canada. Probably do, but really restrictive shipping on some of those campaigns. But yeah, they probably got burnt in the past trying to ship those giant ogre boxes. So no more of that. Yes, so Malagast tomorrow. So yeah, rereading the rules, so I have a decent grasp of it. So hopefully there's not too much to look up, but keep an eye out for that. And I put the rest. So there's all the units for all the factions are in there. It's just I don't have any good way to put the stats, so we'll have to use the PDF for the stats. But cool. Yeah, that should be fun. Yeah, what a weird, disappointing. They had such an opportunity, and the fact that it's like Year of the Dragon and everything. There's so much stuff that they could just. But probably because Hasbro has had such bad earnings from the end of last year and stuff, they're probably getting no support for this at all. Like their biggest milestone in 50 years, and they're just like, there's no budget for it. So it's just like, yeah, we'll do a Chuck Taylor's and Pop-Tarts. How's that sound, guys? The Purple Planet pricey printing. Yes. Oh yeah. We could jump onto Discord or Facebook. Yeah, whatever, Matt. DCC in German. Yes. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, I imagine any of the older copies, anything from the early days. Oh, Uncrustables. Yes. Yeah, K5. Yeah, K5 dropped in last week. So it's fun. I'm getting some abuse cartoons, refugees coming over when my stream is at a bad time or doesn't happen. Yeah, we could do a refresh thing, because it's only like 2 pages of rules, so we can just kind of run over everything again. And we should probably do, because last time, just to make it as easy as possible, we didn't raise the malice level or whatever. So let's do some extra points so we can kind of boost some units. That might make it a little more fun. Have some of the units and stuff be a little more deadly. So have like 4 points to spend on adding those extra abilities. That would be cool. Oh, wow. A Doctor Who con next to an RPG con. Oh, no. Yeah, toast. Okay, definitely toaster. Was it toaster strudels? The Pillsbury ones with the where you squeeze the little frosting out. Those definitely destroyed Pop-Tarts. As far as like, I don't even remember eating Pop-Tarts after those things came out, because those made it all the way into university. I was still like college age eating toaster strudels because they were all greasy. They came out of the toaster kind of sizzling because the grease on the flaky crust was kind of going. So yeah, that's right. K5 dropped that on us in the chat last time. Yeah, I meant to message him. I wanted to give him some support, give him a direct message and say hang in there, because that's rough. Oh no, yeah, so Terry's at that. That's the Doctor Who con. Too many distractions. Wow. We should be streaming live from that con. That's funny. Wow, people going all the way, coming all the way from the UK. That's crazy. The Get Off My Lawn stream. Yes, we'll have to figure out how to title that. Yeah, check the chat. Check the replay on the chat, Yum, from the last stream. Yeah, he dropped a real doozy on us. Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, I hope there's no people that mistakenly go into the wrong con. An invasion of Whovians. Matt has an 8-foot long Fourth Doctor scarf. Nice. Yeah, I always I never got into Doctor Who. I never watched a bunch of it. That's one of those things that would always pop up on PBS. The beginning of it was like, the theme and everything when I was young always reminded me of like Outer Limits or something. So I was like always kind of freaked out by the and it was also, wasn't it it's the BBC thing where it switches between like 16mm film and video. So it's got that weird, like they go outside and it's film and they're inside the studio and it's video. That stuff always freaked me out as well. Yeah, but I remember having like friends in junior high school. I think actually like their parents and stuff were Doctor Who fans. But yeah, Monty Python was the only thing I watched much of on PBS. Yeah, that was what's his name? Yeah, the Fourth Doctor those were the only episodes I ever saw aired. And there was something, I watched a little bit of like the very first season, the black and white. I think it was black and white first season. And I like some of the ideas that they were playing around with. Like right away, it was like really creative with what they were doing in the stories. But yeah, Young Ones too. Oh yeah. That was one of the. It was on MTV, right? When it first. Tom Baker. Matt's Doctor Who, but yeah, Young Ones. Good stuff. Some of those good things that made it over from the UK, and that was the funny thing. As soon as BBC started like their streaming service and stuff, like, oh, there's got to be so much good stuff. Young Ones, Monty Python. There's got to be so much good stuff on the BBC streaming. Oh, no. There is, I guess it's, just like, the US. There's a certain, there's like about 10% of the, comedy or TV programs that are they're well done, and everything else is just filler garbage. Because yeah, that's pretty brutal. Nice. Yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, and that's that with that bizarre radio production they did of Blade Runner for BBC4. That was really weird. I guess they do a lot more radio because they did the Hitchhiker's Galaxy or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio series that the story like varied from the books quite a bit. They do a lot of production. Oh, that's right. And they did Star Wars, didn't they? Didn't BBC did a Star Wars with some of the original voice actors and all of the original wonky Lucas script, all that, like Luke and his weird nickname on Tatooine is like Wormy or something. It's like all the interaction with the people hanging around at Mos Eisley. And yeah, that was brutal. But I guess Mark Hamill was available. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, radio has really died in the US. It's really sad. I mean, they just basically, like, radio stations are just playing pre-programmed, like probably digital feeds from one main source. It's crazy. All right, Orcus, nice. Gonna head to LA. Nice. Yeah, let's have a chat on Discord and figure out what to do. Yeah, good to see you in the chat, Orcus. Oh yeah, Michael Palin. Oh, interesting. Yeah. All the pythons should have been given a shot. Crazy. Well, cool. Yeah, what else? Yeah, there wasn't really anything else that jumped out. Yeah, so some more demonic miniature skirmishing. Yeah, it sucks. I guess yeah, there probably is a good way to maybe do the pages. Oh, I could do that because I've stripped those out. I converted the PDF to PNG file, so maybe I should. I'll build a handouts. I'll do handouts in Foundry, so you guys can have your stat cards. You can pop up your stat cards on the screen as well, so you don't have to have them on your phone or whatever. Yeah, I'll do that quickly because there's like 2 pages of stat cards for the Malagast for each of the factions, and we need to be able to refer to those all the time. I think I literally printed them out for the first time we played, so I could shuffle them around, make lots of paper noises on the stream. Nice. Yeah, so hopefully things will be good for a cartoon stream for next week. I got to get some cartoons done, and we'll be doing that. Very good. So, where are we in? Oh, that's right. I use the different flavor of OBS when we do here at the office, and it does not work. Does not work the same way at all. So I don't get a lot of stats and stuff. Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, we may be getting a sponsorship for the weekly, so that might change things about how I release it, because I want to have a no ads, no sponsorship in the Patreon and member kind of stream. So maybe I won't do the live read in the live stream, and I'll actually put it in later if that works. If that works with the advertiser. But so we might have some sponsorship. So things are hopefully moving upward and onward. It's not quite tabletop related, but yeah, should help pay the bills. Oh no, Yum doesn't know if she's in chat or not. Abyss and Miguel are. Oh, that's right. That's right. Orcus showed up, but there was no Abyss or Miguel. Interesting. And Felix showed up as well. So wait, who is? So is Felix? Wait. I'm getting confused now. Oh, I've seen Felix. I've met Felix face to face, so I know Felix is real. Yeah, we'll never be quite sure who is who. All right, but yeah, so looking forward to it for tomorrow, and hopefully, since we have a much more straightforward scenario, it's not going to be an eternal slog. Those were the six brutal rounds last time. But yeah. Oh no, Matt is doubting. I think Matt and Yum. Wait, now Yum isn't here, so Matt and Yum. I have a feeling that Yum is just Matt's sock account. I can't tell for sure. Oh no! Yeah, Yum used all your chat points for today, so no more contribution. I can't wait until they come up with stuff like that. And I can't believe there's still the candidate for president that keeps saying she believes in real name, real identity, social media, or social media accounts, and no one is going to be able to post anything anonymously anymore. That's a real great way to move forward with free speech. Yeah, that's going to work well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how far that gets. Yikes! But yeah, so I think we'll. I think we'll call it for this week. But yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. So Yum and Matt, see you guys again soon. And it was good to see Orcus and Felix popped in. So a quick message and yeah, very cool. And yes, that's right, our visitor from Twitch, Jovian. Yes, very cool. But we'll do this again next week. So so thanks everyone, all the members and patrons, and this audio will go out on the RSS feed for patrons. And and we'll figure out how moving forward we'll release stuff in the live may have to move stuff around or just kind of change a little bit of where you find stuff. But the live stream will always be the live stream, because this is the only schedule that Chris and I can meet at, and it works the best for creating this. But the other versions of it may come out differently in the future. We'll see. And please let me know in either member stuff or patron stuff what works and what doesn't work. So thank you for joining me, and we'll be back again next week. I think everything is back to normal for Chris, so we might be on a more regular schedule, but you never know. There's all kinds of creeping crud going on over here, so people have been randomly sick all the time. So yeah, take care everyone, and have a good night, and thanks for listening or watching, and see you again next week. Goodbye.